What's good, everyone? It's Switcher here. Let's talk all things Einhorn Revolving shotgun for the gold camo. A pretty painful gun to get gold. I think if you've done the combat shotgun and you're looking to maybe just power through the shotguns, you're going to be in for a bit of a surprise. This gun was not great up until about level 40, level 45. It really just was not pleasant. It takes 3 years to reload and you only get 5 rounds in it. So of course, the moment you unlock the 7-round cylinder, you're going to want to put that on. This barrel is by far the best one as well, but you unlock it quite late. And aside from that, everything's pretty, I'd say pretty standard. These things are kind of like the main ones. I did use incendiary, like a bit of a scumbag for the entire thing. Packed powder probably works a little bit better, perhaps frangible. I just prefer to use incendiary because I like to be a scumbag when I use shotguns. If you're going to go all out, you might as well really commit. As always, recommend that you look for the timestamps below to find the camo challenge you're looking for. Relatively easy for the most part, a few little things here and there. Did all of it in the ship house 24/7 with the exception of Longshots, which we'll talk to when we get there. But let's just jump right into the camo challenges now. So first up, you have 300 eliminations, super easy. You'll complete this as you do everything else. And then you have 50 headshots. Again, I completed this as I did everything else. It's kind of 5 headshots to a camo. So you could break that up however you want as you're doing it. I honestly didn't really notice it. It just kind of happened along with the countless kills you'll get with this gun. You'll definitely get more as you level the gun up and you unlock those better attachments. So nothing really to worry about. Then you have 50 multi-kills. Again, pretty easy. The sole focus when doing this is going to be leveling up the gun, so don't even think about this until you've unlocked the better attachments, and these should come pretty naturally, especially when you're in ship house. Then we have 5 kills without dying 30 times. This was actually the very last camo challenge I completed. It wasn't the easiest. Usually I don't have any issues, you know, they just happen, you don't really think about it. For this I did have to play a little bit slower. I had to use the best loadout, which I went through at the start of the video. It wasn't really something I could mix and match as I went along. And don't get me wrong, I definitely picked up a few here and there with some of the lesser loadouts or lesser class setups, but this definitely favours the strongest class setup with 7 rounds because it gives you a couple of rounds of almost leeway, especially if you're going to be getting really aggressive. I personally didn't. I sat back a bit in Das House and waited for an aggressive team and let them push through to me almost so I could hold angles. A bit scummy, but it got the job done, and I think I got the last 5 in shipment, which again is kind of lobby dependent, and you need the right mix of the enemies who are going to run towards you with no regard of their life and enemies that are going to sit back just enough that you can push them when necessary. Not great, definitely slow down your gameplay if you are struggling. It's not like the combat shotgun. You're not going to be one-shotting people from across the map. Then you have 50 long-range kills. I didn't touch these at all until I got to the attachment specific, and I'll touch on that a little bit when I get to that particular camo challenge. But for this hardcore, take your pick of sight. I think I used the slate reflector, and you really don't need to be very far away at all. But with it being in hardcore, you can be far further away than in core. You can get these in core, don't get me wrong, if you wanted to go through that pain, but you can knock these out in, you know, 2 to 4 games of hardcore. Especially if you put it on blitz on something like domination or hardpoint, somewhere where it's going to allow you to judge the spawns a bit better and position yourself accordingly. And after that, it's all about holding an angle and making sure your reaction time is on point, because whilst you're using a shotgun, every other gun will kill just as fast in hardcore. Then we have 100 close range kills. You should have no issues with this, better than point blanks of course. Ship house, shipment, Das House, any small map, whatever you feel comfortable on, you should knock these out pretty quickly. Then we have 100 one-shot kills. Now, you may have noticed in your time leveling up that you don't hit many one-shot kills with this gun initially. As soon as you unlock that better barrel and the 7-round, you're going to start hitting them non-stop. It's incredibly easy and it makes the gun quite fun to use once you do unlock that. So you shouldn't have too many issues with this. It's just making sure you've got that last barrel equipped. Then we have 50 kills without taking damage with the sawed-off barrel, 7-round cylinder mags and the folding stock. So the good news is we get to keep the 7-round mags. Bad news, got to use the sawed-off barrel. Didn't have too many issues with it. It is only 50 kills. I kind of broke it down into like, let's try and get 5 kills a game with it. But even then I was probably getting closer to 10 to 15 kills with it, so it wasn't too bad. And the biggest issue is if that enemy, you know, breathes on you, that will count as damage and it won't count towards the challenge. And so for that, you need to make sure you are shooting first, you are getting to them before they even see you. So flanks are going to be important, and being super aggressive so they don't have time to react is going to be super important. And not running into thermites or molotovs because you know you can get through the other side regardless. Because if you kill the enemy on the other side that's throwing that, it will not count. So you got to play a bit smarter. Don't start pushing through, you know, explosives and stuff because you don't know who threw them and you don't know if you'll kill a count if you're kind of that hyper focused on this one. But overall, not too bad. It is just a little bit of luck involved in whether or not the enemy tags you. Then we have 100 ADS kills with the 710 barrel, 12 gauge 5 round cylinder mags and the rec proficiency. Super easy, you just got to ADS, that's the main thing to remember to do. I actually put this with the Longshots because obviously I was going to be ADSing with the Longshots to make sure that I was actually on target for them, and kind of did them hand in hand. Obviously you'll need half the Longshots compared to this, but it still wasn't that bad. It's something that you'll do naturally without thinking about it. There'll be times you ADS at times, probably not so much. It is just more of a conscious decision. Then we have 100 hipfire kills while moving with the birdshot 5 round, BDD hunter stock and gung ho. Gung ho of course lets you fire while sprinting, so that's going to help immensely. And after that it is just a case of making sure you're moving. The game with this one in particular seems a little bit picky about when it counts as moving, and more so with the shotguns than any other weapon I've encountered that has this challenge. The best tips you can do are slide around corners, slide into enemies and get your kills that way, or jump. Now jumping massively increases your hipfire spread, makes it really inaccurate, so you might find you're missing more, but it's the weighing up of that's a guaranteed moving kill if you do get it. So I'd go with sliding over it, but jumping's a solid option as well. Otherwise you will pick them up as you sprint around the map and you fire, and that will come naturally. But if maybe you've got 6 to go and you're struggling to get them, sliding around corners, sliding into enemies is the way to go. And that is the Einhorn Revolving Shotgun Gold. I'm gonna get the other shotguns out the way, probably today and tomorrow, get those videos up so I don't have to touch them anymore. But if you want to find any of the other gold camo guides that we've done so far, there'll be a playlist on screen at some point with all the ones we've got in there at the moment. There's one for every weapon class, I think, with the exception of pistols, I want to say. So you should be able to find a general gist, even if the specific weapon itself is not up there. As always, if you did enjoy the video, do give it a like, subscribe if you want to find your way back. Hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.